I'm Lexi. I'm in the US. I was thinking the other day about American food and how few things really do have their roots in America. Most of American food draws its inspiration from other cultures, but that's kind of part of what makes America what it is. But I wanted to take some time and explore the facets of food that truly originated right here. Things that are quintessentially the epitome of American food. And the very first thing I thought of, and probably the first thing a lot of you think of when you think of American food, is ranch dressing. So the origins of ranch dressing can be traced back to the Hidden Valley Ranch in Santa Barbara, California, as early as the 1940s. And I know that the 1940s doesn't necessarily seem like that long ago, but it is 84 years at this point. So it is definitely one of the foods that has its birthplace right here in America. Ranch dressing is not my first choice of dressing to put on a salad, but it is most definitely a classic and always my go-to dipping sauce for vegetables. In the part of America where I am, it's very popular to dip pizza crust in ranch. Frankly, it's very popular to dip like almost anything in ranch. Chicken tenders. I can't even think of some of the stuff that I've seen people dip in ranch before because some of it just blows my mind. What is your favorite thing to dip in ranch dressing? And what is the weirdest thing either you or you have seen someone else dip in ranch dressing? Let me know that down below in the comments. Let's have a conversation. But for right now, let's head into the kitchen and I will show you how to make some yummy, hopefully, homemade ranch dressing. So to make ranch dressing, the first thing we need is some garlic. And the recipe I found says 2 cloves. That's a nice one. That one's starting to sprout, but it should still be just fine. That one is not just fine. I am running on the end of my garlic from the garden last year, so some of it's not so great. But some of it's just fine, and we're picking out the ones that are good. This one looks better. Yep, that one's good. Last year was my first year growing garlic, so I am not quite good at utilizing it all yet. I'll do better next year. Everything is a learning curve, right? But we are going to just give those a smash and give these a mince. You want this minced up pretty fine because you really don't want chunks, big garlicky chunks, in your ranch dressing. I'll probably speed this footage up so that it's not quite so boring to watch me mince garlic. Okay, I'm going to just add this to the bowl. And that's the only thing we needed the knife and cutting board for, so I'm going to put these in the sink. Next, we're going to add a 1/4 cup of mayonnaise. And this is my favorite. This is a 1/2 cup measuring cup. So I'm just going to fill it halfway full because I'd rather wash 1 measuring cup than 2. Okay, 1/2 cup of mayonnaise. Quarter cup of mayonnaise. 1/4 cup of mayonnaise. What am I thinking? And 1/2 cup of sour cream. And then a 1/2 cup of buttermilk. That feels like it needs shaken. Much better. 1/2 cup of buttermilk. And I would go with the real stuff, not the lemon milk trick that we discussed back in, was it May? Next, we need our good old reliable salt and pepper. Half a teaspoon of salt. And then about a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. There we go. And then a teaspoon and a half of dried dill. And then this is supposed to be fresh chives, but I don't have any fresh chives. I do have these freeze-dried chives that should be almost as good. And they need to get used up for something. Let's try one. Yeah, that should work. They taste oniony. Now the recipe says a 1/4 cup of fresh chives. Well, when herbs are dehydrated or freeze-dried, they shrink. So you get the same amount of herb in less space. So I'm going to kind of guess a little bit on this. Start with about a tablespoon. And then we are going to give this a stir. And that already looks very much like ranch dressing you get in a bottle. Give it a smell. Wow. That smells just like ranch dressing from a bottle. I think we should stick this in a jar so it's easier to store. And this is just a wide mouth mason jar, nothing special. I'm gonna grab a spatula, get all that ranchy goodness. And I grabbed a lid for the jar too. There. And then I'm going to slice up some cucumber, and I will meet you back at our regularly scheduled location to give this a try. See you in a minute. All right, so in here I have a few spoonfuls of our ranch and some slices of cucumber. Now, I realized after I turned the camera off in there that several of you were probably yelling at me about the lemon juice that was sitting on the counter. Yes, I did forget to add it. Yes, I did add it off camera. It's 2 teaspoons of lemon juice. And the recipe that I was working with, I found online. So I will link that down below in the description if anybody wants to check that out. But let's give this a try. I want to say the consistency is a hair thinner than what I would expect out of a bottle. That is good. It has more dill in it than typical commercial ranch dressing, but I'm kind of digging that. And if you look at the ranch dressing section, and yeah, it's a section of any grocery store, you will see a wide variety of ranch dressings. Black pepper ranch, cucumber ranch, bacon ranch. There's a ton of them. So to have one that's a little more dill forward than others, it's completely within the realm of acceptable. It's hard to stop eating it. I'm going to give this ranch dressing a 9. It is going to have to be something that I seriously consider in the future, making my own ranch instead of buying it. This is definitely a step up from just your commercial bottled. And you can customize this a little bit. If I want to go with less dill, I can go with less dill. If I want to add some onion, ooh, caramelized onion. If I want to add some onion, I can add some onion. I definitely want to try that next time. But, and again, that's the beauty of cooking. You can customize stuff. You can make stuff to your taste. But if you're in America, I'd urge you to try this. It's way simpler than you think it is. And if you're not in America, but you want a taste of the U.S., if you want to see a little bit of what our food is all about, grab yourself a salad, or some cucumber slices, or some carrot slices, or some pizza crust, and make up a batch of this. I'm not going to tell you you're going to love it. I am not responsible for your taste buds, but it will tell you just a little bit more about America. So if you enjoyed the video, if you could give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already, I'd really appreciate it. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye!